So let's say, okay, fine. Father, I'll go to confession. What do I do before the sacrament to make sure I'm like, how do I make a good examination of conscience? Is that something I do just like 30 seconds before I walk in the door? Do I have to be doing it every night of the week? Like, what do I do before confession to have the best confession possible?
It's a great question. And truth be told, sometimes, there's things in our life that we wing, quote unquote. But then there's some things that like, once you get into a groove, you know what to do, and it doesn't take you as much time preparing as it did before. So an examination of conscience is just kind of like you kind of checking yourself and asking yourself some questions. There's tons of different ones that are online. Some are just very like normal, and some are like in depth, like little things that you didn't even know was a sin. And it's good because, like, I don't know about you, Jason, like if something's going wrong, I would rather people tell me, right? Like not being ugly about it, but just like, hey, did you realize this? Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that was wrong, thank you, right? So like that's what an examination of conscience usually does. It follows like the 10 commandments usually, and sometimes it goes into like other sins, like the seven deadly sins. And so to kind of like examine how we may or may not have done some of these things, and then that's what we should do beforehand. If you kind of like have done it before, you kind of maybe have it memorized, and so you wouldn't need as much time. Usually the time that you're waiting in line, sometimes for somebody who knows what they're doing, should be sufficient. But sometimes, like if it's like your first time, or you're like coming back to confession after a long time, definitely download an examine of conscience and like look through it, read it, maybe like make some notes. There are apps for confession as well, and which is very interesting. But sometimes people come in and like look at their examine on their phone in confession. Hey, it's all good. The purpose is that you be forgiven and that you make a good confession.
Yeah. Now, you had mentioned apps. We actually created one called Pure Faith. And there you can just click the thing, prayers for confession, examination of conscience. You click that right there, and it'll go through how to do it, whether you want to use the 10 Commandments, whether you want to use the Beatitudes, how to prepare for all that stuff. And so that's one place you could go. But like you said, just carve out the time, because you're going to get absolved regardless if you have that sincere intention. But man, to really check the books, like at the end of the day of business, anybody who is the bookkeeper has got to look, okay, as much as we sold, did we get that much money in? They check the books, make sure it all adds up. And I think if we're doing that on a nightly basis, kind of examining the conscience, then when you get in line, it's not like, oh my goodness, what did I do? Let me just cram for this test and go in, prepared. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, but if you want to see the whole episode where this came from, just click the link here. And in the meantime, we want to invite you to help us share this message, and there's a couple things you can do real quick. Number one, if you like or comment or share this video, YouTube will actually show it to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We release videos every single day, and you'll be notified as soon as those come out. If you want to help us also to spread this message, you can support us at patreon.com/JasonEvert. That helps us to create these videos and show them to the whole world. God bless.